writing this song, when I would put on the track, within seconds, it seems like every time I would just start crying. And I couldn't communicate kind of the words of what I felt, but I kept hearing, my audience of one. And that made me think about when I was maybe in the best moments, whether that was playing a sports game or performing in front of a big crowd. And yet those big moments were never fully fulfilling. But at the same time, I would think about kind of what were the worst moments in my life. And in those moments, I want to blame and say, well, God, where were you? And it's interesting because in the big moments, I want to ask somebody else, if I get off stage, man, how'd I do? And there's this sense that God is saying, hey, why didn't you come to me first? And when I ask him how I did, it seems like he's always validating me, but he's talking more to me, not about what I did. And the most beautiful part of going to the depths of this song was going to those moments when I knew no one was there and asking God, hey, instead of blaming you, first, were you there? And secondly, how did you feel and what were you doing? And those perspectives started to just wreck me. Because God not only wasn't there, but I could see that he was protecting, he was teaching. And those tears helped shape this song in such a beautiful way that when we perform, we wonder, are people looking, what are they thinking? And that doesn't just come in performance, that can come in our job, at home. We want to know, are we validated by others? And we get fear, we feel stage frights, we think everybody's judging us, they're all going to leave. But yet something happens when we zone out and we focus on the one who's always been focused on us, who every time we look in the stands is there through the highlights, in the lowlights. My audience of one was always there. Now, people were there in my life for sure, but one constant always was God. So the heart for this is Galatians 1:10. For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Or am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ. And that question I have to ask myself, am I looking to please the audience, or am I looking to please my audience of one?
You're my audience of one, audience of one, audience of one, you're my audience of one,
yeah. Check. Where my at? Fade to black, what it feels like. Grab the pad, cut me open, time to bleed life. Light a match, bones broken in a cast. From my past, if you ask, from many hopeless fiend nights. Packed Breslin, thought we made it. Be careful who you listen to, mirage contagious. Reading my press, get back to basic. Who would take this kid from Mason as the franchise favorite? As from the start there was one, and in the end there was one. You always say I'm second to none. I'm not sure why you always stayed around. Considering how many times I let you down, you never let me down. 5th grade bumping Public Enemy. The whole time little did I know you in the background. Turn the track loud, time to black out. We bout to spaz out, who cares if it's packed out? We already tapped out, You were there when I rapped when Katie died. And when the family broke up back in '89. Face to face with death, held at gunpoint. At one point, nearly overdosed, too much noise, My brother hit by a car and you spared his life. Other side flipped when my friend took his life. Next speaking at his funeral, About life is short, capture moments beautiful. How am I supposed to pass it that? In fact, I need a pass to bed. Time to text or pass the bread. Storms come back to back. You wept and you kept holding. Little buddy, I am with you. Look forward. I learned 1 week you're strong. As I stare in your eyes, Selah, pause. There's only one applause that matters nowadays. It's to please you, God.
You've been there in the fire, umbrella in the rain. You're the light in my darkness, mercy for each mistake. And you were always there, whispering so clear. Yeah, you're my audience of one.
Audience of one, audience of one, you're my audience of one, yeah.
Ooh. Gotta flow from identity, no matter what happens. And when the enemy speaks, ought to notice the pattern. This story, you wrote it, and I'm the wimp, you're heroic. Yeah, you water my trees and part of my seas. Call me Moses out of my league, and you the Mickey to this Rocky. Here for the ride jockey, call it cocky. I just know that God got me on. I hear your voice march strong as an activist. Stand tall, superhero, Black Panther this. Lazarus, when the show's over, saying that's my son.